It is 10:45 at night. I am currently in the process of filming 2 different videos. Hello, welcome to Mads Creates. I'm Madeline. In this video, I'm going to be using a bunch of my stash yarn. Well, not really a stash. It's more like scraps, but I guess kind of my stash. What is up with this hair? Anyway, I just made my first bandana following Passionate Kelsey's tutorial. This is the Pico bandana. She posted it like a month ago, maybe 2. This was very fun to make. It took 55 minutes to make. I'm gonna make a bunch more. A bunch. These only weigh like 1.2 ounces or like 38 grams. It does not use like any yarn. Well, I mean it does use yarn, but if you have a tiny ass amount of yarn, perfect. It's actually it's a decent sized project. Perfect for using up your yarn scraps. So this is my baggie of cotton yarn scraps. And then there's this thing. I don't even know why this is in here. I can't use this for anything. But I do have this. Half of this skein I used to, I tried and attempted to make a little dinosaur amigurumi thing. Terrible idea. Don't use cotton. And then I got to the point where I put the eyes in, I finished the body. I just threw it away. I don't like throwing away yarn, but I threw it away. Anyway, this is what I have left of the pink. I have a whole 2.5 ounce skein of peaches and cream purple that I bought almost 6 years ago. See, I don't throw away yarn unless it's like not good yarn that I don't like the I haven't thrown it away, but it is in a bag in a special space that I will eventually cut up and use as stuffing or give to somebody else or donate, because it's vintage yarn for one. I mean, I don't have anything against vintage yarn, it doesn't feel good. It feels like shit. It's terrible. And then first, I'm gonna use up what I have left of this. You may recognize this from my tutorial on how to crochet a crossbody phone holder. I do have these cotton bamboo blend. These are from, I made a koozie for my boyfriend for Christmas last year, 2023, and these are left over even after making, I think I made 1 ear warmer, 1 hat. I don't know, this is still left over. It's a size 3 or weight 3. Can't really use it for much. I might be able to make bandana with this stuff. It's very soft. I just don't know what I'm gonna use it for. I'm gonna try to avoid using it because I really don't want to. Anyway, this whole video is going to be me using up all of my scrap yarn. This is my bag of acrylic yarn. Literally all of my acrylic yarn that I have in here is Big Twist, except for this. This is Pound of Love. Wait, oh yeah, I thought it was upside down. It's literally 16 ounces of yarn. I even used a little of this already and I still have this much. I feel like I'm never going to get rid of it. Anyway, this yarn I have, this was Cinnamon from my Mushroom Hexie cardigan. You guys have not seen that. I have orange left over from it. I have this brown that's left over from a blanket that I made September of 2022. This is also from September 2022. This used to be a lot bigger and it was also from September 2022, but I used a lot of that in my tapestry crochet, like how to design your own tapestries. I have these 4 very minuscule little pieces of sorry the lighting's terrible by the way. 4 little pieces of olive drab from one of the shrugs that I made. This is left over from one of the shrugs that I made as well, but like I already made a matching ear warmer for the shrug. I have no idea how I ended up with this much extra yarn. Like the rest of the yarn that I have from the other ones are all this size. Like this is probably 1.5 feet of yarn. This is probably also 1.5 feet. This is probably 2.5, 3 feet of yarn. This little bit, like this is what was left even after making those matching ear warmers. And then I have this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I could make another ear warmer. I mean, I could make a bandana with it. Let me weigh it, because it takes less than 1.4 ounces of yarn to make a little bandana. This is from my retro flower granny square blanket. I still have way too much of this, but this also, no, this also could have been from September 2022. I don't know if I used all of that or not, but I don't even know why I'm giving you guys a little tour. I just am. Okay, starting with the first thing I'm gonna make, I'm gonna use up the rest of this yarn. I weighed it. I have, with the blue, I have 1 ounce. I think it was like 0.999. It depends on how I put it on the scale. It's a very small scale because this was not originally bought for weighing yarn. It was bought for weighing something else that is very small. We're just gonna make a bandana because that's all I have enough yarn for with this. It looks like I have quite a bit of yarn, but it's really not. It is 12:20 a.m. I finished this, but I did the straps a little bit different. I couldn't do just a plain single crochet. I did have to slip stitch back over this, so that's why it did take like an extra 15 minutes to finish, but She's super cute, all blue with a gray border. And then I still have this much yarn left over, probably half an ounce. These are so easy to make and they are so fun. I'm gonna keep making these until I get sick and tired of it. Again, sorry the lighting is shit. It's just, I've got 2 can lights above me right now, and yeah, it'll be better tomorrow or whenever. I will switch back to daylight. It's whatever. Good night. I'll see you guys when I use more yarn. It is the next morning. I didn't end up falling asleep until probably like 3 a.m. I did measure how much yarn I had. I had exactly enough to make one of these, except the straps are 5 chains shorter on each side. This is the amount of yarn that I have left over from that. But I was rudely awakened this morning by like 5 minutes of vacuuming on a hardwood floor above me. It's not hardwood, but it might as well be. It's hard flooring, not carpet. I couldn't fall back asleep because it was already 9:45 at that point. Gotta love insomnia. So over the past few days, I've made this many bandanas. This is the most recent one I made. It is not good at all. I don't like it. I started to run out of yarn. I wasn't able to do another row right here, but I was able to get this far on it. And then I made 2 more of these bandanas while I was over at my boyfriend's. I still have quite a bit of leftover yarn, at least cotton yarn. Let's see how many bandanas. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done 9 bandanas. This is how much brown yarn I have left. Not enough to make a bandana. I don't know what I'm going to be able to make with this. And then I still have, I'm going to make another bucket hat with this, and then I'd probably a couple more bandanas with what I have left over. And then I guess it's time to start moving on to the acrylic yarn. I have totally started using more cotton yarn now because it's more structured, and I love making the bandanas because it's super quick, and these bucket hats. So I think I'm slowly moving more towards cotton yarn and away from acrylic yarn. Oh well. I finished the bucket hat last night, and then I still had enough yarn left over to make another bandana. I do have about 8.5 grams left of this yarn. I can't do anything with that. I have 10 bandanas here that I was able to make with all of my scrap yarn. And now it is time to move on to the acrylic yarn. I know I want to do some ear warmers, but I also want to do some bucket hats. And I know I really do like these cotton bucket hats. I'm going to try one plaid bucket hat. I have gray that I want to use, probably some white. And I have to find a third color. Probably gonna take a while because I really don't want to work with the acrylic yarn right now. I've started to become obsessed with cotton yarn now because these are so easy and fun to make, and obviously I'm filming like 3 or 4 different videos at once right now, so I'm gonna take a pause on using up all of my scrap yarn right now, and I'm gonna work on this fun rug that I'm making for my boyfriend. It's gonna be Mopar. It's super simple though. It's only 3 colors. I'll be back when I start using the acrylic yarn. It is the evening of Sunday, June 20th, and I've decided that I'm ready to work with some acrylic yarn, and I'm going to be following, once again, another one of Passionate Kelsey's tutorials. She just has so many good tutorials, and everything she makes is like something I would wear or use. I know this is a scrap yarn video, and I do have black scrap yarn, but I'm saving that specifically because it is red heart and it is the tiniest bit thicker or firmer than my big twist, and I'm using that red heart with my loops and threads yarn that I bought so that I can make tote bags with that. So I will be using this brand new skein of black big twist yarn. I do have another skein and they're both the same dye lot, but I have not had any project ideas that need black yarn other than like my small tapestries that I've been making, but I just used what I had left over of the red heart because it was pretty quick and easy, and this is something that I would actually wear, so I'm going to be using Big Twist just because it's softer and I like it better than red heart. Like, I know I've said probably in a previous video, I don't remember when, that I despise the Red Heart brand and like I won't use it for wearables or anything like that, but I mean, that stuff I bought over 4 or 5 years ago, so it's like right before their quality started going downhill. But anyway, I'm going to be making Passionate Kelsey's plaid bucket hat with these 3 colors. This is slightly thinner. This is Lion Brand Pound of Love, and I'm hoping to use most of it. I already know that I'm barely gonna make a dent in this. I'm gonna be using these 3 colors to make a plaid bucket hat, and then with whatever's left, I'll probably do ear warmers, because I made this ear warmer a while ago because I had a whole skein of this color yarn. I'm pretty sure this is Red Heart, and this is like really soft actually, so I'm sure I bought this one 5 or 6 years ago as well. Either that or it was gifted to me. This yarn, soft enough it passes my standards for wearables. I'm gonna get started on that. I'll see you guys in the morning or whenever I record next. I finished the bucket hat. I don't think I like it. I think I'm probably gonna add maybe a row of something around the edge. Like, it's nice and sturdy. It looks okay. I don't like it. I used up some yarn though. I made this last night, finished it. I made one in the Lion Brand color. This one is so soft. This is how much gray I have left. I'm gonna save this for any more like tapestries that I do. I might need gray for. This is how much of the Lion Brand Pound of Love that I have left. I don't know what I'll be able to make with this. There's cat hair all over it. Oh wow. I love my kitties, but they shed so much. This has been added to my scrap yarn, even though it's almost an entire full skein. But I do have plans for this. I am going to be making more bandanas, and this is going to be like the border to them. I weighed this, and it is just under 40 grams because I need between 40 and 43 grams to make an ear warmer. And the only way that I can make it is if I do stripes, and I really don't want to do that. I'll do a scrap beanie. Okay, yeah, we're gonna try that, because I do have my little handy dandy notebook. I do have a list of easy crochet ideas and scrap yarn ideas. So one of them is a scrap hat. Yeah, we're gonna be trying that. I'm gonna look up some inspo pics because I don't know how I want to do it. These are the colors that I have chosen for my scrap beanie. Anyway, I don't know what color scheme pattern I'm planning on doing. I just know all of these colors go together. I finished my scrap beanie. That orange is so vibrant. Like, look at that. It looks way brighter on camera. But oh my goodness, this beanie is huge. So for this I chained 50. I'm sure that I can definitely do 45 next time, just because it's so long. It's longer than I thought it would be. You know, the last times I've made beanies, they've been short, not very big brim, but the brim on this is huge. Like, I'm probably gonna donate this to the homeless. I have a whole ass bag of stuff, like hats, ear warmers, 2 scarves that are pretty short. I should probably steam those before I donate them, just to make them a little bit looser, softer, longer. I have this much yarn left over from that. I don't really have much else that I can make with my acrylic yarn, so I added a black little border on the edge of the bucket hat, and I like it so much better now. It 100% needed this little va-va-voom, if you will. It looks 10 times better. Like, I would actually wear this now. It's a fucking fly. Did y'all see that? This is more like a, probably a fall time, maybe winter bucket hat, just because it is made out of acrylic, for one, and I don't want to wear acrylic in the summer, so. I did say that this would be just using up my scrap yarn, but to make this video a little bit longer, I'll use up a little of my yarn stash as well. I know I told you guys I hate Red Heart, but this is not a wearable for me, it's for a dog. This has been sitting in my yarn stash since the beginning of this year, 2024, so 6.5 months. This has been sitting in my stash, and we bought it so that we could make a sweater for my dog, because she is a Australian Shepherd Standard Poodle mix, and we get her shaved every year, like every 3 months basically, and she gets a little chilly in the winter, so her color is also green. That's why we're using green. And I will be following, I don't know what tutorial it is, or it's going to be a written pattern from a website. I will link that in the description. I don't think I can link it in the cards yet. I don't think I have enough subscribers for that. I might be altering the pattern just a little bit. Like, I know there's going to be ribbing, and she's probably going to start with the ribbing and then work off of that. I think I want to do the ribbing last. So, for those of you who don't know what this is, it is Red Heart Super Saver medium 4 weight. It's a 7-ounce skein, but it's only 364 yards. And Big Twist is a 6-ounce skein, but it has 380 yards. I'm gonna get started on using up this. My garlic knots are done. Wanna bite? It's really hot. I gotta put that down. So I've got the collar portion done. I measured this around her neck, and this fits like almost, not loosely, but it does not have to stretch too much to fit around her neck. So it's 60 rows, and the pattern for the medium calls for 46, but I did this to like the length. You know what? I'm gonna take off one more row, so it'll be 59. It will stretch eventually. I know that for a fact, and this will definitely fit around her neck. Let me measure it really quick. This measure is fucked up, so I measure from the 10, just subtract 10. So yeah, that is 16 inches. You know what? I'm just gonna take off one more row, so it'll be 58. Just double check. And that's 57. Oh, that's 15 and a quarter. It's fine. I'm using a 5. I'm probably gonna size up to a 5.5 to work on the body portion, just so that it's not as hot, because I know that if I were to do a 6, it would be a little too airy, but at 5 is going to be a little too warm. So I'm going to do the nice medium and do a 5.5 for the body, but I do want the ribbing to be a little tighter, so I did a 5mm for the ribbing.
Dahlia top and a black Valerie top. So I'm going to start with the River Dahlia top and get that going. It's only 8 o'clock, so
it's 2:30 in the morning. I've been crocheting the whole time I've gotten this far. I changed up the pattern halfway through because I got bored of not the pattern, but the stitch. I got bored of just doing a plain half double crochet, so I started doing alternating between a single crochet and a double, and I did that fun stripe, and now I got literally more than half of the sweater done. All because I'm procrastinating a shower. But it's finally time that I shower, because I need to go to bed. Alright, it is almost noon the next day. I barely got any sleep. Now I'm just going to be starting from here, working around to here, and adding a little longer section for the dog's back. She hasn't tried it on yet, but I'm 99% positive this is gonna fit her. She's a medium to large dog, and this is pretty big. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this pattern back and forth right here, because I've been working my half double crochets in the round, and I can't do that with a plain square panel. So I'm gonna try and do this and hope that it matches up, because I also did this in the round. It'll look good. She's a dog, she won't care. Only I will. Okay, so I absolutely did not need 2 skeins of yarn. I cut off my yarn here. I just finished the ribbing. Leave off like an 8-inch tail. This is how much yarn I have left from that one skein. Now, like, all done. I certainly did not need that much yarn. So now I will be probably making a hat and an ear warmer out of that. I think I have enough for it. I'm not sure. Oh, also this color is spring green. Spring green, that is an unnatural shade of green. I will be back with the try-on, and then I'm going to take it right off of her right after I show you guys, because it's July. It's almost 90 degrees outside. It's too hot for her to wear a sweater. I just wanted to use up all of my yarn and such so that I can buy more yarn, because I make it a habit of buying the yarn that I need for a project, and then I use it, and then I have to go buy more yarn. I don't just buy yarn willy-nilly because I don't have anywhere to put it. So I don't have a yarn stash. I have a project stash. I have a whole pile of finished projects that need to be put somewhere. She's all finished. Ends weaved in. Gorgeous. So now I'm going to be making a hat, and then after that, if I have enough yarn left over, I will be making an ear warmer. And I'll probably list those on my website as well. Honestly, this skein isn't as rough as I remember the last like newer skeins that I've been getting or that I've seen from Red Heart. I do know that a lot of them are rough, but it could feel softer just because I've been working with Lily Sugar and Cream, and that is a super stiff yarn. So I'm gonna get started on that. Also, when I make my hats, what I do is I chain, well, for the last one I did 50, but this time I'm gonna do 45. The last one I did 29 rows. I'm gonna do 28 rows, or no, 48 rows. What am I thinking? 48 rows of half double crochet, back loop only, until you have a nice big panel, and then I slip stitch one side together and then I sew up the top. I got this far into the hat. Don't mind my boyfriend on FaceTime. I got this far into the hat. I'm about halfway done. I did not make one edge single crochet. I fucked up. I have to restart. This is over an hour of work. Okay, so I made and finished a beanie, and I weighed the beanie. This is like 98 grams, almost 100. The skein of yarn is 198 grams. When I weighed it, what was left of it, it should be 100, right? It was 104. So there's 4 extra grams of the skein, so I decided I'm gonna make another one of these beanies. And while I was putting on lotion after my shower, I was looking at my desk and I was like, oh my gosh, I have more scrap yarn and more like stash that I need to use. Anyway, speaking of putting on lotion, I just got my skincare box today. Look at the little sample they sent me. No free, what's the word? No free advertisements, but this is the little box they sent me. It's so cute. It's just a little itty bitty tube of sunscreen. Anyway, I have this that I need to just sew together. It's an ear warmer. I think it's, oh yeah, that's good length. I have a second one that I just have to finish and sew it together. And then I have no clue what I was starting right with this. Oh, and it's cut off. Okay. Then, oh, here's the finished one. Okay. Pretty sure I started another one. Yeah, here's another one started. And I have this much yarn left. I don't think this is gonna be enough for another one. I'm gonna definitely have to tie this onto it, but that's fine. And then here's a snood that I made for it's for my boyfriend's mom's wiener dog, their little mini dachshund. I don't even know if this is gonna fit her. Anyway, and then I have this yarn left over, and I have purple yarn left over. I'm gonna weigh these, and if they're at least 40 to 43 grams, then I have enough. And I'm gonna make some more ear warmers, but they're the sparkle yarn. Pretty sure these are just the Mainstays Walmart brand. I don't know if you can hear the ceiling fan, but it's going crazy. I weighed all of these, and they're between 53 and 55 grams each, which is 1.9 ounces, like 1.9 and a half. I have exactly that much in this yarn right here. I don't have enough of that yarn. I have 1.3 ounces. Anyway, I'll start an ear warmer with this color and finish it, and then I will decide what to do next with my leftover yarn. I'm also gonna sew these together. I have no clue what to make with this or this. And these colors do not go together, so I cannot mix them and make another one. I might be able to do stripes with this. I might be able to find a color and do stripes. I won't be able to make a striped beanie because a beanie is... Actually, I might. If they're 1.5 ounces each, I might be able to do a striped beanie because a beanie weighs almost 3 ounces, or it is 3 ounces, something like that. I'll just do thinner stripes of these colors, thicker stripes of the other color. I'm just gonna have to find something that goes with it. I know white will go with this, but I don't have white. I'd have to go buy white. Anyway, I'm going to crochet until it's time for me to go to bed because right now it is 11:16 p.m. on Tuesday, July 2nd. Tomorrow I have to wake up early and do things. I say early, I have to be up by 11. Running on barely any sleep, but I'm still gonna crochet because I love to crochet. I won't even be able to crochet in the morning because our farrier is coming and I have to hold the horses for him. I don't even ride the horses. I haven't ridden a horse in 6 to 8 years because I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. Oh my god, the ceiling fan. Guys, it's literally almost 1 a.m. and I just slip stitched the hat together, weaved in my end. Something doesn't look like the rest of it. That is like 6 double crochets instead of half double crochets. Good thing it's gonna be on the part of the brim that's folded. So, oops. To the untrained eye, you'll never be able to tell, but that's gonna bug me. Oopsie. Now I have to check around the rest of it. It was just that one spot. Because I had been messing up literally all day on that end. I was doing double crochets because I was so used to doing double crochets for the Pico bandanas that I was doing. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I'm so tired. I need to go to bed. I'm gonna sew this hat together and I will actually lay down to go to bed pretty early today. It's not that early. I finished all of these thingies and then I made this one. It is one row short because I just didn't have enough yarn, or I didn't make my stitches tight enough, which kind of sucks. So I'll sell that probably $2 cheaper than what I would, because I think I would probably list these for like $16 to $18. That seems reasonable for my time. But yeah, I finished these, and then I wound these up into little mini cakes so that I can make stuff with them. And I was going through my acrylic yarn and I made a cup koozie, whatever you want to call it. And this only uses 18.5 grams of yarn. So if that only uses that much yarn of the acrylic, it might use almost the exact same for cotton, and I have 19 grams of yarn right here. So I'm gonna try and make a koozie with this and a bunch more koozies with the acrylic yarn that I have. Now, I'm not going to be selling any of the acrylic koozies that I make because I just don't want to. They're not going to be good. It's going to be scrap yarn. So I'm just going to keep these for here and use them. And yeah, but I might eventually sell some cotton ones. So anyway, I'm going to make a bunch more of those and I will be back with the finished products.
This at 5:45, I'm pretty sure, so it took 3 hours, but also like
good morning. Today is 4th of July. I woke up and I got a notification from YouTube that I was tagged in somebody's video. And now this lady subscribed to me a little while ago, and her name is Scraptastic Yarns. She's the owner of apparently a Scraptastic Yarns, I don't know if it's a website or a little store, but she shouted me out in her video, and she just sat down and had a list of people, of like crochet and knitting channels that she likes, I guess, and she was just going down the list shouting us out, and I was the first one she shouted out. That was so sweet of her. I never expected that. I only have 400 something subscribers. Like, I would not expect to be shouted out by somebody. She almost has 4,000 subscribers, so I subscribed back to her because 1, that was so sweet, and 2, it was so sweet. My mom went to the store this morning and she was like, "You need anything?" I was like, "Some white acrylic yarn," because I want to make a beanie. But I asked her if she would find the Mainstays brand. She couldn't find it, so she got Red Heart. I'm going to make the purple and white beanie, and oh yeah, I don't think I showed you guys my cozies that I made last night. Well, this is the first one that I made. Reminds me of Sprite. This is the second one I made with my scrap yarn. This one, the cotton yarn takes up 25 grams of yarn, while this one only takes up like 18.5. Then I made a third one with my leftover Big Twist Party yarn. I used it to make a shrug a while back. You can go see that in my try-on video of everything I made from February through April. And yeah, it fits a can very well. I have a Aldi brand Sprite. It fits very nicely. Super cute. I love it. Probably gonna drink this now. I'm thirsty. I don't want water, but it's not cold. Anywho, last night I attempted to make 2 ear warmers. This is the first one. I didn't have enough yarn for it, and I should have known that because I tried to do it a couple months ago. So with this, I'm gonna take out this row and the last row so that there's 8 rows, and then I'm gonna do hopefully some red on it so that it can be red and yellow for, like, you know, either Chiefs, Winnie the Pooh, and or ketchup and mustard, whichever one you like the most. But the other one I made, I ran out of purple yarn. This is the only purple yarn that I have for it. I got this yarn. This is not the sparkle yarn I was talking about earlier, but this is yarn that I got from my boyfriend's great aunt who passed away a while ago, and his mom and aunt gave me a box of some yarn. This is as far as I got 13 rows and halfway through the 14. I even took this out and started working on it with half a size hook smaller. I don't know what I want to do with this. I guess I can take out the first or the last row and painstakingly take out this first row and crochet white on it. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna have to scrap this, which sucks, but I don't want to deal with it now, so it's going in a bag. And then I also have this blue yarn. I might make a koozie with this. I have to weigh it. 23. Perfect. Well, almost 23 and a half. So I'll make another koozie with this, get this little ball of scrap yarn out of here. This is Red Heart Super Saver. It's navy blue. It's showing up way darker on camera. Oh, my shirt's also blue, so it's blue. Oh my gosh, I look terrible. Oh no, my sleeve ripped. Anywho, gonna start making the hat today. Don't know what else I'm gonna do with the dusty rose color sparkle yarn. I might make koozies with it, but I might not. Depends on how I feel. Anyway, I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, so I finished this hat. I did 4 rows of white, 2 rows of pink. This is purple. Did have to use some of this little dog snood that I made because I had just too little yarn. So I had to take out probably 4 or 5 rows of this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remake this, and I'm just gonna make it like a straight little tube for the dog, like with ribbing and stuff all the way around it. Alright, today is Tuesday, July 9th. That's what today is. I got a white beanie done while I was over at my boyfriend's, you know, past 2-3 days. And then today I got 2 black beanies done, 1 ear warmer, and I started working on another ear warmer, and I'm probably going to be able to make 1 more after that. I think I want to keep one of these black beanies for myself, maybe. I have enough ear warmers. I don't need any of those. I have some fun news. I bought more yarn. This is Bernat Velvet. I have not tried it before. I got 8 skeins, and they should all be arriving tomorrow. 2 of them will be arriving between July 15th and 16th. Not sure why those aren't shipping with the others. And it also asked me, like, it said this item ships in the packaging that it's in, which, like, it shows what it is. I'm like, first off, I know yarn is shipped in thin ass clear plastic bags. Second, it is raining here, and it has been raining for the past couple days, so I don't want that yarn to get ruined. So of course I selected the option to ship in Amazon packaging. Just put it in a box or another bag, because I know some of those plastic bags have holes in them for, like, to allow air to go through. Yeah, I don't want my yarn to be ruined before I can even use it. So there's that. The colors I got are Vapor Gray, Mocha, Cream, and I got 1 crushed velvet, which is the coffee color. And then earlier today I went to Walmart and I picked up some hair ties. Just look how neat the backs of these are lined up on this side, and then this train wreck, whatever. All of the skeins that I got, they were 50% off, so that's why I have those colors. Because who wants to pay $21.99 for 2 skeins of yarn when you can pay $10.99 for 2? So it's basically buy one, get one, and of course I did that. But the crushed velvet was actually 15 and some change. It was only 30% off for that. Still got it. I spent after tax $52.07. Let's hope that it looks good, and I will start making a bunch of scrunchies, and I think I'm probably gonna make a video of how many scrunchies can I make in a week. I'm super excited for that to be here tomorrow, even though I ordered it earlier today. Gotta love Prime. Anyway, I'm going to finish these 2 ear warmers that I can make with what's left of my black yarn, and then probably gonna be going to bed. And I think after I finish this, that's gonna conclude the video. So I will be back with everything that I made and finished from the past 2 weeks, basically. And if the lighting is better in the morning, I will take pictures of everything, and I will start to list everything on my website. Of course, there will be a link in the description for my website. I'm using my my small business website that is not for crochet. I do press on nails, if anybody's interested in that. My website is nailsbymads.com. Mads with a Z. I haven't really been working on that because I've been crocheting. I probably should have started a crochet website instead of a nails website, but you know, I already invested $2,000 into nail polish and a bunch of other junk, so I kind of have to use it. Either that or just have a little collection. I just want to show you guys a cute little some nails that I made just because it's right here. So some of the stuff on here are water slide decals. It's a little dusty. It's in a frame because I made a whole collection, but these are all of the nails that I have made. Not all of the nails that I've made. These are just the nails that I've made for this Care Bear collection. This camera angle is probably really bad, but they're sparkly and really pretty. Let me switch it really quick so you guys can see. This lighting is even worse. Yeah, they're all sparkly and pretty. My favorites are probably the Halloween Trick or Sweet Bear, or is that what it is? I think so. I have no clue. Don't quote me on that. These are all the yarns I got. It only says $2 up there because I reloaded a gift card on here with $50 because I had a $50 gift card that my mom bought and didn't end up using, so she just gave it to me. So yeah, there's the gray, mocha, cream, and the coffee crushed velvet. The others are just the regular velvet. What I'm not happy about is that most of these are going to be shipping in separate packages instead of all just in one, which I really, really, really don't like. I know at least 2 of them are going to be in the same box, and then the other 2 are going to have their own box. They're probably just going to put it in a bag. I'll actually be surprised if they're in boxes. I just really don't want my yarn to get ruined by rain and mud, so kind of have to use extra packaging. I would love to use the less packaging and have it be that way. I just really, really, really don't want it to be ruined, because if the yarn is ruined, then what was even the point of buying it? Anyway, okay, I'll stop rambling. I need to work on these ear warmers, get that ready. Alright, it is 12:40 p.m. Today is July 10th. I've been refreshing the Amazon page. Why do my eyebrows look like that? I swear they look good normally. My yarn is now 9 stops away, but I am here to just show you everything that I've made over the past about 2 weeks. So first, we got this baggie, my dog sweater for my dog for later this year, my scrap beanie, 3 black ear warmers that I finished last night, 2 black beanies that I made yesterday, a white beanie that I finished while I was over at my boyfriend's, and then the next thing I have is this box. This box is full. So I think the first thing that I made was this bucket hat. And then I made this striped sparkle beanie. See, it's got the iridescent, pretty sparkles in it. I did have to take apart the dog snoot. I think I already said that earlier, but here's that. 2 extra beanies from the green yarn, because I ordered way too much. Even with that extra green yarn, I was able to make this Sprite looking can cozy. This is a cotton cozy, and then I was able to use a bunch of my leftover Big Twist Party yarn to make this cozy. I didn't end up making a dark blue one because I forgot I needed to give my boyfriend some string so he could put up a fence for his dog. I'll insert a picture right here. It's so fucking cute. Anyway, he had to use that string, and then I had to rip it off of the thing because he tied it too tight. Boys. Next thing, I have this antique white ear warmer. I have this titanium gray ear warmer. There's this, I don't actually know what this blue is called, but it is a sparkle ear warmer. I'm just gonna call it pale blue. And then I have 4 of these. Wait, there's only 3 right here. Do I only have 3? I guess I only have 3 because I know I had to finish 2 of them. Oh no, I didn't have enough yarn to make another one. Okay, so I had to finish making 2 of them. One of them was already made. And then I have my bandanas, 10 of them. There are 4 of these color. And then I have this gray and blue. Then there is 1 pink, 1 brown, 1 purple, 1 green, and then a mixture of green and purple. And that is everything that I was able to make with my scrap yarn. So there are 10 bandanas, 9 ear warmers, 6 beanies, 1 bucket hat, 1 dog sweater for a medium large dog. I'd say she's a medium dog. Oh wait, no, I forgot about the white beanie. So there's 7 beanies and then 3 cozies. What a haul. That's going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, comment if you feel like it, and subscribe for new videos every Monday. If you didn't like this video, don't give it a thumbs down. Just don't. Give it a thumbs up. Have a better day.